But yeah, it was interesting because I think he even said, looking back on it, not that he would necessarily encourage employees to go rogue, but he said, we didn't need to like make a lesson out of her. We just needed to appreciate the fact that we had this wonderful miracle basically that happened to have a backup file, and we didn't need to make an example out of her. But I guess he was just trying to make the point that not all rogue things are bad. This is what he was also trying to say.
Yeah. And I think the key is that they took the guy who deleted the computer and made him an example. So he was brutally beaten outside in front of the office. No, I think what's interesting is that nobody was fired. They didn't fire anyone, even the person who deleted it. And I think there were, to me, a couple of striking things. And tell me if you agree, disagree, or have some other thoughts. But one of those things, when we're talking about the rogue employee, is, I think, an implicit trust you have with your employees, that they are doing things for the benefit of the company, even if it's not against policy, even if they're thinking creatively. And maybe there isn't a policy that says you don't take a movie from the studio home with you. I don't know. Maybe it is an employee handbook. But when people are genuinely trying to do something good for the company, and it might be a risk. In this case, the risk paid off to save their behinds. I think they said in the end, they only lost maybe a week or a few days worth of work because it wasn't the most recent copy of the file, but it was close enough. They did not have to go back to 9 months of development. Yeah, so I think one, when there is an implicit trust with people you work with, your employees, I think that goes a long way, because now I'm not taking it home to sell or because I want my old souvenir or anything like this. We're all pulling in the same direction. The other thing I think that was an important lesson from this is that it can be very easy to point fingers and have someone be the sacrificial lamb. But what you do is you can create a culture of non-failure, people not taking risks because they don't want to mess up. And what you end up getting is a very stoic, tried and true, follow the process, follow the rules, don't take any chances type of culture too. And I think that kind of blends in with this creativity mindset here, is that it was an honest mistake that you don't want someone now not to use a computer or to not to develop something because, geez, if I screw it up, I know I'm out of here. So I thought that was a pretty noble decision all around to embrace that.
No, I totally agree. Sometimes when the obvious result doesn't happen, if you were an employee, you'd probably be like, oh my gosh, I wonder who's getting fired today, because that happened. And the wild goose chase and all the pain and frustration and anger and all those things could really be lashed out upon in a company setting. And honestly, you'd probably say like it was justified. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have had the computer with the files on it. That employee shouldn't have done the computer command. Like, they should have known that. We're going to solve that problem right now.